Let's get some more analysis from Dmitry Babich, who is a political analyst at Sputnik International, a Russian-based news agency, and he joins us now live from Moscow. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Now, the opposition leader is calling for a recount of the votes, and so are the prime ministers of the Baltic States, and the EU is set to take action too. How likely is it that a recount of a vote or even a possible fresh election will happen?
Well, a fresh election is a possibility, but a recount of the votes, I don't believe in it, because the head of the Electoral Commission, Lydia Yermoshina, said that it was technically impossible to conduct a recount. I think that certainly a lot of people in Russia, including the official news agencies, the official journalists, doubt that Mr. Lukashenko got 80% of the vote. But certainly he has some support in the country, and a lot of people in Belarus do not want Belarusian nationalists, anti-Russian forces to come to power. So a fresh election is a possibility. I think it would be the best outcome if Mr. Lukashenko agrees to that. That would be a legal way out of this very embarrassing situation.
Well,
you know that Mr. Lukashenko
right.
has insulted Russia many times in the last 2 years. He arrested 33 our citizens right before the election. He accused Russia of trying to interfere in the Belarusian election. So personally, Mr. Putin has no reason to be sympathetic for Lukashenko, but Putin is thinking about Russia and not about his personal relationship with Lukashenko.
Well, Lukashenko has asked Russia for support. What kind of support is he expecting from Russia, and will he receive it?
Well, Lukashenko is a victim of his own mistakes. He alienated Russia by his actions for 3 years at least. But the alternative is too horrible. Most of Belarusians, and of course all of Russia, we don't want a repeat of the situation in Ukraine in 2014, when a very anti-Russian, radically anti-Russian government came to power through a violent protest action in the center of Kiev. So Belarusians, if they see a threat of that happening in the country, they may back off and stop the protest action.
Right.
So I think the main support that Putin can give to Belarus is to appeal for calm, and he appealed for calm.
All right, Dmitry. Right. Now, Alexander Lukashenko is under major pressure now, and we can clearly see that from how they've already dealt with the growing protests. What do you think his next move is going to be?
Well, he has no choice. He will stay in power. He will try to resist the pressure because there is no way out for him. Maybe a fresh election could be a solution, but he would see it as a defeat, of course. But unfortunately, the mediation that the West has been offering, I don't think he will accept it, because everyone remembers Western mediation in Kiev in 2014. Let me remind you that at the time, 3 foreign ministers of EU countries, the French foreign minister, the German foreign minister, and the Polish foreign minister, they promised then President Yanukovych that he would be safe. They guaranteed the agreement between him and the opposition that fresh election would be held in 1 year. And then when the protesters entered the parliament violently and set on fire the government's building, the Europeans pretended they never guaranteed this agreement. Right. And they never said a word against the opposition breaching that agreement. Right. So Lukashenko certainly will not agree to a mediation by the European Union or the United States. These are not mediators. These are supporters of the nationalist opposition. Okay. So unfortunately, they themselves made that mediation impossible. It's like Iran and Iraq. After what happened in Iraq, a revolution, a pro-American revolution in Iran became impossible simply because fresh example before they rise. The same story. The Russians have the example.
Babich, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to end that there. We're running out of time, but thank you so much for sharing that analysis with us.